The police are using YouTube videos to bait viewers into watching them, and then going to Google with a search warrant to demand to know who watched those videos. Is this government overreach? Absolutely. Is this a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights? I think so. Is Google fighting back against police search warrants? Surprisingly, yes. Forbes uncovered a disturbing story about the police trying to unmask the identity of someone who goes by the online screen name of Elon Musk WHM, because they believed he was illegally selling cryptocurrency for cash. Side note, selling crypto for cash is not illegal by itself. So this guy must be up to something bigger, or maybe the police think that he's engaging in some kind of tax evasion scheme. Elon Musk WHM is good at hiding his identity, and so the police can't figure out who or where he is. Then they get the bright idea to use a few YouTube videos as a honeypot. This isn't always how a Fed honeypot works. In another major case, the FBI creates a fake app that is supposed to send encrypted messaging. Suspects sign up for the app, start using it, and the FBI sees everything. But for this honeypot, the police send Elon Musk WHM several links to YouTube videos about cryptocurrency. They may have even sent it through his Reddit profile. Then, the police get a court order for Google to cough up names, telephone numbers, and addresses for all viewers of these select videos from January 1st, 2023 to January 8th, 2023. The police claim there is reason to believe that these records will be relevant and material to an ongoing criminal investigation, including by providing identification information about the perpetrators. Elon Musk WHM is innocent until proven guilty, and it's not clear as of the time of this video if anyone's actually been identified or arrested for this situation. Since the whole matter was sealed until just recently, and Google is still silent about it, I think we can safely assume that they complied with the court order and coughed up all the data that the cops asked for. But is a search warrant for data like this even legal? Yes, companies can be the subject of a search warrant or court order, just like individuals. Unfortunately, this means if Google receives a valid search warrant for data located on its servers, it normally must comply with that search warrant or face possible legal action against itself. Some companies do put up a fight some of the time if they think the search warrant is overly broad, for example, but Google doesn't have a great record in this regard. And this means that every person who watched this series of YouTube videos is now on a list of possible suspects for the police in some cryptocurrency scheme. And in the Forbes article, the executive director at the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project, Alex Fox-Conn, said it best. No one should fear a knock at the door from police simply because what the YouTube algorithm serves up. This is why I think it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. It's a completely overbroad search warrant that's catching so many innocent people while they're literally just fishing to try to identify a suspect. I think the founders would be horrified to see the Fourth Amendment being abused in this way. But isn't this called entrapment? A few Redditors would definitely agree with this idea, but that's not how entrapment works. It's not illegal to watch a YouTube video. It is illegal if you watch this whole video and don't subscribe to this channel. Well, maybe not illegal, but you should definitely subscribe to get more information and good tips on how to deal with the police. Anyway, this situation is not entrapment because the police haven't enticed Elon Musk WHM or anyone else to commit a crime or to even engage in some furtherance of a criminal conspiracy. All they did was entice someone to watch a YouTube video. Entrapment would be something like a police officer asking you to get in your car and move it somewhere when he knows that you're already drunk. You were drunk, but not driving, so you weren't guilty of DUI until the officer asked you to get behind the wheel and move the car. If he then tries to bust you for DUI, that is entrapment. So if Google usually has to comply with search warrants like this, how are they fighting back? From what I can tell, Google isn't fighting back about the YouTube viewer data yet, but they are fighting back in another important way that affects our privacy. Google announced a few months ago that they're drastically changing how they handle and store our location data that's collected through Google Maps. Location data from Google Maps used to be stored for a default of 18 months, but now that's been pared back to only 3 months. And importantly, instead of saving location data on Google servers, it's now supposed to be stored solely on your device. And if you ever back up your location data to the cloud, it's supposed to be stored in an encrypted form where Google or its employees can't access it at all. Some people think this change is so significant that it might mean the end of geofence warrants. A geofence warrant is for when the police obtain a search warrant to order Google to give up all user information about who was in a particular place at a particular time. This data is routinely used by law enforcement to cast a large dragnet to conjure up a suspect when they know when and where a crime happened. Geofence warrants were also instrumental in tracking down people who attended the January 6th rally, and the geofence data is the subject of the documentary 2000 Mules. But does this mean you should stop using a VPN and go buy a Google Pixel phone? I wouldn't suggest it. While this news is a step in a good direction, and I commend Google for it, Google's record for protecting our privacy is terrible. In a recent lawsuit, for example, it was claimed that incognito mode isn't really incognito, and Google will be deleting billions of records of data to settle that lawsuit. Why do they have that data in the first place if it's incognito? But what you can do is take your privacy seriously. Consider using a VPN all the time, even when you're just doing something simple like watching YouTube videos. If you don't give up your information in the first place, the police can't mistakenly catch you in one of their dragnets when they're searching for a suspect. This is why VPNs like Mullvad have a strict no logs policy. If they don't log and store data in the first place, there's nothing to give to the police, even with a court order. To learn more about the danger of geofence warrants and how to protect your privacy, check out this next video. And remember, don't click on bait videos from the cops, and don't talk to the police.